Hello there, and welcome to the final. This is Company of Heroes 2. This is for the Heavyweight Championship of Automatch. Playing as the Germans, it's the German himself, PanzerGrenadierAngreifen. Here is the OKW. Loading into the south side as Crossroads. He's up against the Russian Jove, playing as the Soviets. This is one of the most balanced maps in Company of Heroes history. It's Crossroads. People may be sick of seeing it, but this is for a very good reason, as we see it all the time. It's the least vetoed map in Company of Heroes right now. These two players have been playing Automatch for thousands of hours. They've both hit high number one ranks in the past. I think PanzerGrenadierAngreifen was number one as Wehrmacht for a continued period of time. He's playing as OKW, which are probably the most powerful faction in 1 versus 1 right now. Jove was, of course, a former Grandmaster and ESL Major winner. Strangely enough, PanzerGrenadierAngreifen has never really played in tournaments. He's always just been an Automatch warrior, and that's where he gets his fame from. All the best players have come up against PanzerGrenadierAngreifen, locking in with Overwatch Doctrine. Jove just gives himself room to adapt with the following tactics available to him: Tank Hunter, Shock Rifle Frontline, and Guard Motor Coordination. Both players are going for Infantry Bulletins because, of course, you get your most use out of them as it adds up over time. It'll, of course, be a Penal Battalion build from Jove. Nothing spectacular in terms of build orders. This isn't a non-meta crazy match. This is just two of the game's best ever players duking it out for you on the game's most balanced map. What more could you want than this? Double combat engineers allow you to cap a little bit more whilst you're waiting for these penal battalions to build. We're going to have a Kubelwagen out, and I want to draw your attention to this. This is Stern Pioneer behind cover, and it's going to be an ambush behind the bush. The first Grenadiers you'll be able to see in Automatch. You can see that there's blue capping against your territory, so you know the activity is over here, and then the Stern Pioneers are drawing a trap. This is all live, by the way. This is a live Automatch game. I have no idea who's going to win, and this is the kind of stuff I want to cast. I've fallen out of love with trying to pretend that I don't know who's going to win, because I always do. You can tell by the replay that's been uploaded and who uploaded it. And yeah, so you could do the casting. Your favourite casters a big service by, of course, going to CoH2.org and uploading replays that you see in Automatch. Give them a little spectate and save them down, and it would actually be a fantastic service you'd be providing. You know, battalions pushing up west, so the ambush never actually worked, but just showing you the tactics inherent to the top level of play. The M3 is now going to make this Kubelwagen have a bit of a dodgy time, but Rakettenwerfer is going to come out as the third built unit of PanzerGrenadierAngreifen. Or fourth, actually, after the Kubelwagen. Taking this cut off, but it's not really cutting much off. These combat engineers have just capped the munitions point, so it won't really matter. Stern Pioneers are getting their Sturmgewehrs to fire at the rear side of the M3, but of course the actual rear gun is more powerful on the M3. One of those Car 98s sniped one of the combat engineers laden within the vehicle. Good amount of DPS being done. They're just trying to brute force it down. Using ghosting here. PGA is not above ghosting. It's a tournament ban tactic, but it's certainly not banned in Automatch. And he's using it to destroy the M3. He's going to have to get out of the vehicle, possibly. Bunny hops over the verge, lose 2 models. That's not good there. And you've got to worry against players in Automatch, because these kind of tactics have never been patched out of the game by Relic. After many years of the community telling them that it possibly should be. They have mitigated it, but they've never completely removed it from being an option. As a tournament organizer, I always said, when I was organizing my tournaments like GCS, etc., that I would allow ghosting because it makes it known to Relic that it's a thing. And they'll see it in the biggest YouTube videos ever, and of their game, they'll see this tactic, and it'll motivate them to fix it, if they have the possibility to do so. I'm sure they don't have the resources anymore, but you know what I mean. Just a standpoint I personally favoured. Rakettenwerfer is going to push north, possibly going to cloak mode around here, and just, well, try and cap this point, because there's no targets anymore. The M3 was destroyed. Double duty here, putting down the medical supplies for 45 munitions and then repairing the Kubel. So good what's it called? That female thing. Multitasking, that's the one. Engagement in the south here. Rock Knife Flamethrower make combat engineers into a force to be feared, with those flames flowering and turning you into a crisp. Combat engineers really can't kill people on retreat, so they just carry on capping anyway. Check out, look at these bodies and cartwheels and everything strewn across the battlefield, and a lovely line there.
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
He knows the Rakettenwerfer is capping, so he goes to mitigate it, but I'm sure the JLIs will, at their very first opportunity, when the headquarters is converted, which there aren't any right now. Loses a model on negative cover there, the Stern Pioneers. Meanwhile, the Rakettenwerfer has been uncovered. Actually destroys the fuel barrel in front of them there. Let's check out this engagement. Combat Engineers versus Kubel. But Penal Battalion's going to turn the tide of battle in Jove's favour. I love high-level play. You can just taste the difference. Every single part of what they're doing just feels a little bit more refined. Backpedaling there, just trying to retain the manpower whilst maintaining some level of usefulness on the battlefield. Overwatch flares ignite. Jove's position showing PGA all. Going for the cutoff here. This is no fuel currently connected for PanzerGrenadierAngreifen. I'll swear, I think Jove could be a little bit more active with these penals. He finally whirs into action there. Kubel's waiting to be repaired. Awful camouflage, and we do have Commander chosen now. It's tank hunter tactics for Jove. That's pretty exciting. Just non-meta versus meta. I do count tank hunter as non-meta. Kubelwagen actually killed somebody and has gotten its detection should it need it. Not actually seen that much of that ability, but it is kind of cool to have them hidden behind bushes, acting as a miniature infrared searchlight almost. But Jove's got so much fuel coming in, and I'll have Tank Over Battalion Command in no time. Don't know what the point of the Rakettenwerfer getting too far up there. It could actually destroy the cover, then leave these guys on negative cover, because the becomes negative cover at that pixel there. It's a good job they retreated that way. PanzerGrenadiers pushing in. Got a first converted truck now, mechanized regiment. Kubel's going to go cap the fuel. Meanwhile, in the center, we've got these Jaegers are now upgraded thanks to the headquarters being converted. I really feel like this is going to be a slow building game that will just become steadily more epic. That's why I'm casting in a reserved way. I'm just letting the game breathe. And we're just going to be in for the ride on this one. These are two very evenly matched players. PanzerGrenadierAngreifen has been at the very top of the game recently. He's been having some fantastic matches. One good sweeping there by PGA. One I saw against Kimbo in particular on Nexus was awesome. But as I say, I saw it live, so I don't really want to cast it, unfortunately. Because it's about my enjoyment just as much as it is you're the viewers. I would never want to cast without enjoying the game myself. PanzerGrenadier hard retreating there. It's a good job that they're not tripwire flares. They do have very, very similar animations. Kubelwagen forced away. Penal Battalion will again harass the fuel. Interestingly, PanzerGrenadierAngreifen is not going for the fuel point. He's going for the victory point first. He's clearly a victory point minded player, not a resource minded player. Putting symmetrical sandbags down on the central victory point. Puma's in town, and that can actually do a lot of health damage over time. It's that coaxial machine gun. There you go. Picking off somebody on retreat. Not that bad, you know. It really can surmount the kills. PanzerGrenadiers coming back to full strength, getting ready for battle once more. JLIs only have 3 kills so far. They are pushing in though, their guttural voices. Squad, ready to move! Rakettenwerfer's becoming a pesky capping unit now. It really does piss you off after a while. Puma's relatively uncountered at this point. We do have our first PTRS conscript, of all things. So he's only just going for the one conscript squad, of course, because he's gone for a penal-based build. But I actually, myself, when I'm playing with penals, I do like to have one conscript squad. I really think it helps your utility. Just to have the merge ability on support weapons and have one squad that can oorah into victory points. Or in this case, throw those crazy anti-tank grenades that the conscripts can throw. That's the one. Anti-tank grenade assault. T-70 is now out. PGA was thinking of getting the truck down, but thought better of it. Oh no, yeah, he's just started converting it. Battle group headquarters incoming. This is interesting. He's not going for Schwer straight away. Going to go for a light armor based build. Puma against T-70. We know who wins that one. Keep an eye on this in the west. Still got the Minesweeper out. Takes it out at the last moment, which makes sure that that combat engineer hasn't put down a mine. Great play by PGA. You know, it's often a gut instinct of players to just hit D if it's or whatever hotkey it is and withdraw the Minesweeper. But I think PGA may have seen he was up against a combat engineer there, so decided to leave it out. Battle group headquarters is down. So both of these players have upwards of 8,000 hours in the game. I think that's an achievement in itself. Almost a year of gameplay time. Or lobby screen and searching time also. Probably not brute game force time. Brute game force. It sounds like one of those products you get advertised on a shitty YouTuber's channel. It helps keep your palms not sweaty. It may have residual blindness and impotence effects later in life. There we go, we've got healing up in base now, so you just saw the effects of that on the squads leaving base. I'll tell you what, this penal battalion's got a very difficult path. That's not good. Jove needs to hit. He's got the medium cover bonus. He's thrown a satchel! Oh my god, he's not seen it! It was a bit late there. He got stuck on the cover. Did you see how he got stuck on the cover? On retreat even. It was a trap. Two mine laid there, and we've got the MG34 out now, the earlier war machine and Gewehr. Puma, 5 infantry kills already. That's a lot more than the T-70, which currently has 0 infantry kills. Oh, bad camera work. I think he's putting that mine in PanzerGrenadier's vision. Hang on. Yeah, you can of course see it because of the Overwatch flares. Yeah. Kubelwagen's still alive. Still got its 1 kill. Nearly hitting Veterancy 2 though. There you go, he puts on detection. Ha! Great. There you go, Veterancy 2. Giving it... Oh, I don't think I've got my mod on anymore. Every patch breaks the infantry mod, the Veterancy mod, so you have to put it back in again. Quite unfortunate. I need to remember to do that. You've seen the Veterancy mod I sometimes run. Oh, nice. T-70 gets hit by the Raketenwerfer. But we've got this conscripts lying in wait here. T-70 is going to be fine. Elsewhere in the west. Now got the Maxim out. Oh, there we go. Big satchel fail there yet again, seemingly. Elsewhere, east side, T-70 is getting a very aggressive almost. Raketenwerfer did get uncovered by the conscripts though, forcing them away, and now they're laying a mine.
Waiting for your command. We have the point. We have an isolated sector.
That's pretty sexy to have one of those on the field. I do like it. Some players spam them when they go tank hunter, but I like the fact that Jove's just using it for its utility as part of an overall penal battalion build. It gives them a bit more anti-infantry presence, I believe. Going for an ISG as PanzerGrenadierAngreifen. Certainly help just be a nuisance to Jove. Of course, that was the EMD-6 light anti-vehicle mine that conscript was laying. I couldn't see it on the unit portrait, but I figured out it was on the commander, of course. Kubel's just detonated a mine. Still got a good amount of speed, though, even with a damaged engine. Elsewhere in the center. T-70 is hitting the wall a lot, you'll notice. Yep, just hits the wall. The MG didn't even actually have to retreat, probably. Probably just as well he did, though. These Jaegers only have 5 kills. It's not that much, you know. Seems that I think Jove's done an excellent job of avoiding them. Puma's been hit. Has to use the smoke ability. ISG's beginning to become a nuisance. There's an example of it. Ouch. Health damage and destroys the cover. Could have been worse. Had it not hit the cover, it wouldn't have been splash damage. It would have been full, like the near AoE, which is quite powerful of the ISG, so it would have been like 2 models dropped. People often ask, new viewers often ask, why do we call them models? Well, it's because, actually, in Company of Heroes universe, all of the soldiers were originally models. Like for fashion catalogs, etc. It's just how the Company of Heroes canon works. It's very strange. You've ever seen the film Zoolander? Just think Zoolander. T-70's still been pretty useless. Has somehow gotten to Veterancy 1, but only has 2 kills. Sturmgewehrs forcing the penal battalions away, but then themselves retreat, and that's probably wise from PGA. That's more like a soft anchoring move, just to make sure you don't have to keep microing things you don't want to micro. And it actually helps your preservation if you do that. If there's a squad and it's not actually, you know, losing, but it's not going to win anything either, why keep it in the battle sometimes? You do see players do that. Even top players. Because this game is taxing. You know, it's pretty much impossible for even the best players in the world to be in full control of all of their army at the same time. You know, in StarCraft it's easier because there's less emphasis on spreading your units in top-level StarCraft. I mean, there's more operations, and it is a harder game in general, in total, I mean. But just the aspects of multitasking is harder in Company of Heroes. Really stretches the male mind as well, as I mentioned earlier. And women are, you know, famously more built for multitasking, and men are more built for like linear thinking. That's why a lot of women are very good at RTS games. Just not in Company of Heroes 2, though. We haven't really had top-level women in Company of Heroes 2. Company of Heroes 1 we did. Greatness and Sunjay, if you remember those guys. It's an interesting topic. Puma's gotten to 11 kills, far outclassing the T-70, but again hits the light vehicle mine. No follow-up, though. Penal battalions are suppressed, seemingly. There we go. We got the mechanized coming down. Elsewhere in the north. Pinned and suffering damage. They're waiting for the ISG, though, to smoke them out. Very rare you see that. It's cool. Love that ability. Maxim's just going to reposition, though, and it gets the line of sight again. And keeps the pin down. Cool to see that. Oh, and now we got the Schwer down as well. This is a very consolidated area. But it kind of makes sense because your infantry won't mass retreat to it, so you'll be fine against Katyusha fire. You just have to maintain its protection. And I think you kind of do that. You're using this sunken house to protect your headquarters trucks, so it's pretty clever. More light vehicle mines are being planted. And this sandbag, interestingly, I'm not too sure the whole point in that. I mean, it'll stop some level of attack grounding from behind that hedgerow. And there will be a lot of that in this game. You might even see a little bit of... No, you won't need to. But what often happens is like Raketenwerfer's fire through the hedgerow. I don't know if it's for that. But it's certainly not at the moment for cover purposes, so maybe it is. Often, watching the top-level players play, they will often do stuff that intrigues you, and you have to try and work out what the purpose is. Because it's impossible to be a top-level caster and player and have a full-time job and everything in life. So, you know, I've unfortunately never been able to master this game as a player, really. So I live in constant awe of the best players. And I'd like to think that's what you guys are watching this for, too. Unless you yourself are a top-level player, and I do know some of you guys watch my channel. PanzerGrenadiers are getting heavily outclassed there. Fortunately, it won't be a too difficult retreat path because of the suppression down here, but still could be a wipe. Has to be careful. Looks like it's surviving. We've now got the... Is that the 76 mil? It is indeed out. Elsewhere. Good amount of damage done by the T-70 there. It did get some soldiers, Soldaten killed in the Ober squad. 76mm. Oh, there's another one coming. He's going for tank spam. This is clever from Jove. Going to be a very aggressive build. Now the game's truly heating up. 20 minutes in, we've got a game on our hands now. And this is where we start to hype things up a little bit. Five kills on the T-70. Conscript infantry squads gaining position. ISG forced away. Puma's now in the loving bosom of the mechanized regimental headquarters repair pioneer Automatrons. Kugel's still just chilling. Second T-34 comes to fight for the Rodina, surveying the battlefield. There's a huge war ahead of it. More very cheeky light anti-tank mines planted. Here come those veteran Volksgrenadiers, Sturmgewehrs blazing. Nice entrance for the T-34, though, destroying the green cover. Volksgrenadiers decide to hide behind the last vestige of that wall. PGA's probably thinking, damn, I wish I'd gone special operations. I could have done with a Command Panther. Then again, he does have the Schwer now, and his fuel income's not too shabby. So, you know, he could actually get his own Panther in only 50 fuel time. He has a lot of munitions as well, I'm surprised. We could have seen a Goliath possibly at this point already. Maybe he's saving it for sector assault though. Smoke popped on the Puma, T-34 in pursuit. Is he going to take out the Kubel? One big shot. There you go. That's going to fall to the machine gunner now. Puma gets a big shot from far range. Meanwhile, in the center, this T-34 is chilling whilst the penal battalions penalise this Jaeger for being out of position. A needs to sneeze. 2 Raketenwerfer is the build from PGA. Jove made a double Raketenwerfer aggressive commando play famous in ESL March era 2016. That's right, 3 years ago. Been watching this famous Russian play for around 3 years now. He did have a year in the army though in the interval. Puma prowling, looking for position. T-34 is in recon mode, it seems. Could actually use tank ambush. Not that it will, but it could. Oh, nice shot by the T-34 there. Already climbed to 4 kills. And what's this? We've got Raketenwerfer's taking out the T-70 from afar. I was going to allude to the fact that there is artillery. The ML-20 152mm howitzer has been built. And there it is. It's going to take its first salvo right now. Loads the breach. Raises the elevation on the cannon. It's on base. Oh, this could be big. Oh, it could have been so much worse. The second shot. Move. Oh, nearly moved into it. That could have been so much worse. T-34 jockeying for position. Jove has the map right now. And the ML-20 is really going to start to punish him. Such an RNG cannon. So bullshit RNG. He's just going to be doing that all game. And look what a well-defended position he's in. There's all these mines. He's got T-34 on the east. T-34 in the west. Just well protected from both angles. The best thing he could do, possibly, PGA, is just try and take out from the center, but then he'd leave himself exposed for a flank. So, no, he's screwed right now. Strategically speaking, at least. Volksgrenadiers forcing away penal battalion. ISG not finding its mark at the moment. Let's check on its tally of kills. 7, not too shabby. T-70 just chilling in the rear guard. actually climbed to veterancy 3 during its struggle. Oh my god, the ML20 is already ready yet again. Oh, he's retreating into it. This could be bad. Big shot coming in, possibly. Oh, holy shit. Overshoot, maybe. Yes! Oh, shit! JLIs go down. Obel Soldaten nearly decimated. RNG, eat your heart out. War, ain't it hell? Meanwhile, we're suffering vehicle losses. The T-70's just gone down to the double Raketenwerfers. And Volksgrenadiers push in. I don't regret not missing the ML20, though. You can't look away when there's retreated squads. Oh, fucking hideous. I think his safest place is there, actually. He should probably take that position behind the bush. In fact, I think that's the only thing he can do. Hopefully for PGA's sake he will. At least he got the T-70. It's not the end of the world. But it's being replaced by a T-34-76. And Jove's army size is a lot larger. Puma's pushing forward. T-70's ready for him, though. Misses horrendously. But the Puma bounces. It's actually been combat repaired as well. Raketenwerfers are pushing in. We've had suppression down. Thanks to a possible mine there, maybe. Oh! Raketenwerfers couldn't finish the job. The Puma's hit an anti-tank mine, slowing it down. And here comes the second T-34. Smoke has been popped. Raketenwerfers are in retreat. We've just had the P-tab. Nearly taking out the building there. The Puma did go down to the T-34. And now the machine gun is falling. He's got a Panther in the build, though. Maybe he can make his way back into this game with the Panther. It would have been better if he'd kept the Puma alive, but... Here comes Sector Assault. Goering, better late than never, I guess. But it would have been better to be on time. PanzerGrenadiers, meanwhile, capping the west and victory point, so he's still in this. T-34's taking fire, allegedly. Joined now, they have a trio of tanks. Obus punishing the penals. Their temerity of sticking this one out. Doing too badly. More horrendous artillery fire on base. Should be safe. It's only a Volksgrenadier anyway. There was this Maxim waiting for the Obus. There it goes. Whirs into action. Probably going to get an incendiary grenade on it. Indeed we will. Meanwhile, T-34's guarding the eastern side. Panthers now on the battlefield. Raketenwerfers, will they see the tank and take it out? They do have line of sight. Yes, they get a big shot in there. Will the Panther be able to join the battle in time? He's got to try and traverse this. Panther, save us. Save the game for PGA. Yes, with a big hit. Breaks through the bushes. Takes it out through the rear armor. Meanwhile, the other two T-34s finally were into action, but it's a little bit late. And the Panther makes some serious gains there for PGA to get him back into this game. Penal Battalion looking low on health. Oh, Panther with a huge long-range shot there. Volksgrenadiers looking for a Faust. It wouldn't have worked anyway because neither tank is damaged. And look at this. PGA's been able to cap the entirety of the west. The Maxim was forced away. Check out the east again, where things are beginning to heat up. Got an Su-85 in the build. That's clever. ML-20's firing. Just an MG-34 in base, though. Tell you what, this battle group's in danger of going down. Volksgrenadiers retreat at exactly the wrong time. As I say, not that PGA would ever watch this back, but he would certainly be better to occupy the area in front of the battle group. Maxim forcing in. Bad camera work by AE. Bet 3 penals capping the victory point. PTRS does a tiny bit of damage to the Panther, scuffing its mantlet there. Check on the kills, the ML-20. 15, and look at the veterancy. It's going to be... Everything is... that veterancy too is rate of fire and shell accuracy. It's so powerful. So if it's on this area here, it's going to be firing more frequently and with more punishment. Panther gets a good shot there. Will the Raketenwerfer help? Yes, it will. Another good shot. This T-34's backing up, but the Su-85's there. Will he finish the job, the Panther? No, he won't, and he's got himself into harm's way. What was he thinking? Su-85 with the penetration. T-34 likewise. Panther's got to get out of there. Raketenwerfer's await, though. Oh, last shot ricochets off the frontal armour. Raketenwerfers are forced back to base. Will the ML20 try and finish the job, perhaps? Of course it will. Gonna fire very shortly. Maybe you'll listen for the where it's repairing. You should probably fire over here. Will he? Has he maneuvered it to do that? No, he's gonna keep firing on the base, but it may be a good shot. Maybe a very good shot. Second one could be over here, perhaps. Yes, I can hear it. No, it's just north of there. If you could actually echolocate, you can hear where they're gonna land. This one's here. Oh, it's there. Okay, it's a fun game. Listen. Okay, again, this is about over here. Yeah. I love playing this game. It's better if you do it from this directory. This one's over here. Where's the next one? Over here. Yeah. You can echolocate them. You have to have a good headset on to do it. Another good reason to play competitive computer games with a decent headset. Echolocating where shells are going to land. Penal times being punished. Puma in the build. Certainly putting a lot of... He self-satchels there, Jove. Bit of dodgy play there. May have been thinking about other engagements. Tell you what, these T-34s need to get back into battle ASAP. Look at the munitions count of Jove, though. He's going to have some serious... I want to call them Moabs, but of course it's a PTAB. Do not know what that stands for. It's definitely not the mother of all bombs. What could it be? The popper of tank anti-bombs? Yeah, pretend I didn't say anything there. We'll just pretend that was dead air. Look at the ML20. It's already ready to fire once again. Isn't that just horrendous? Absolutely horrendous. One of the famous things... Look at this. A cloaked Su-85. It looks like he's got bushes on top of it, though. Kind of, because it's... the active camouflage looks like it's portraying what's underneath it. Kind of Terminator T-1000 style. Puma pushes in and gets a rude awakening thanks to the true anti-tank, the Su-85. Sandbags constructed there. ML20's firing over here now. Still wasn't able to take out the battle group at any point. I think he needs to recce where that is properly. With his T-70s, I think, of the past. Interestingly, both tanks here have veterancy 2, giving them better maneuverability, I believe. No, just better accuracy. That's American tanks that have the maneuverability with veterancy. Oh, nice shots by the Raketen, keeping the Su-85 out of combat for a while. And also, these combat engineers are just now going to be on repairing duty quite a lot. Thanks to the Panther, which has recently hit an anti-tank mine and is going in for the kill. Is he going to get it? Yes, he is. Is he going to push on and go for the... Yes, he is! He's going to go for the ML20 here. This is a big moment from PGA. He's getting caught up, though. Puma's also going in. What's the Panther doing? Oh, he's worried about the PTAB. Very, very clever from Jove. Didn't want to get stuck there. The Puma's certainly doing a good job of killing the ML20. Is it? Panther seems to be fine. We've had one T-34 got caught up by the Raketenwerfers, and the other might do the same, as we now also have Sector Assault called down. Puma's trying to take it out. We've had an anti-tank grenade assault on the Puma. Here comes those Goering's finest. The Stuka's raining fire. Death from above. The ML20 did not die. The Panther is fine. Could possibly push in for another assault here. ML20's continuing to fire, this time on the exit of the base. More CoH Grenadiers die. Penal Battalion's going ham. Horrendous assault there for PGA, I believe. Didn't quite go his way. He lost way more material. Both Raketenwerfers just got taken out. He's got nothing left in terms of infantry, really. Just one CoH Grenadier squad. And he's now having to salvage one of the Raketenwerfers and then take the other, perhaps. There we go. I'll show that on the graphs now. Look how... well, Jove, actually. What the hell? It really did not feel like Jove got the better of that assault. It honestly didn't, but seemingly he did. Crazy stuff. Honestly, it did not feel like that. But then again, oh, there we go. I suppose that, yeah, they both suffered. ML20 continuing to fire. This could be a big one, perhaps. My god, no, it's... Why is it firing? Oh, it's constantly trying to hit this now. I think he should just carry on their headquarters, to be honest. Panther whirs into action yet again. Clearly doesn't feel like there's enough other threats offered by Jove in these southern territory sectors. You've got to keep an eye on the victory point count as well. PanzerGrenadierAngreifen is quite low. So if Jove can push out with these tanks, he may be able to make a big statement. MG34 being forced away. CoH Grenadier possibly going to have the same happen to it. Thanks to the superior accuracy of the SVT rifles. There you go. Look at the amount of models dropped since we looked away from it. That's bad for PanzerGrenadier. He's clearly suffering now for endurance. There you go. He saw that way too late. And that's what I mean by the taxing nature of Company Heroes. Trying to keep an eye on everything that is happening is so difficult. You can't allow for that to happen. I tell you what, Jove really should have the material to be able to push out at this point. ML20 continually firing. Mostly on the trucks here. Really feels like there's a lot of value in taking out the trucks, but I would argue it's much better to carry on the headquarters. I may have already mentioned that. But only we can see that. He doesn't know the untold damage he's been causing. Well, he should have an idea. Panzer IV in the build, trying to get the most out of the Schwer before the artillery cannon possibly eventually takes it out. Panther's ready for battle once more. We got a Zis gun building for Jove. This game has legs, serious legs. I don't know what serious legs are, but better than funny legs or unserious legs. Silly legs, perhaps, if you're John Cleese. Turret gunner of the Panthers killed 10 infantry. And there's the hull gunner as well, but never really seems to be as powerful. And the pintle mount. Is there a coaxial? No, there's no coaxial, so it's pintle and hull. It'd be absolutely scary if there were 3 machine guns on it. Up signs in no man's land. T-34 similar, but its brethren tanks comes to help out. But that superior armor of the Panther, not superior through the rear though. ML20 was so close to having its veterancy removed. Probably wiser PanzerGrenadierAngreifen to push down and try and finish the job on the ML20, but getting past this deep defensive Soviet lines is so difficult. T-34 getting some decent shots in there whilst being combat repaired. Panther forced away. This game is becoming a little bit of a World War I kind of stalemate. I'm trying to get my audio jack back in here. There we go. I think my headset jacks must be broken because both jacks on the computer are really intermittent. They kind of stop working from time to time. Oh. And it was great for 2 years having this PC. And I bought all the peripherals at the same time and everything just worked. But now it's coming to that stage where, you know, things are slightly broken in various ways. And it's just such a bad feeling. It's just like, you know how to fix them. But yeah, every time I load up my PC, I have to go into like the commands and select which hard drive to load, for example. Just because Windows has fucked itself up over time as well. I could do that with a reinstall, of course, but, you know, it's one of them. Kettenwerfer in a decent position to get some good shots in here. That's the Panzer IV now. Could have finished the job. Such a load of combat repair times and all sorts for both players, keeping their tanks out of battle. So we're not seeing any decisive engagements recently, ever since they had that huge boiling over of hostilities, and it's really becoming a brutal, I use that word way too much, sorry, a decisive victory point climax it's seemingly becoming. Panther reverses its ass into the penal battalions and forces them away. Cloaked exists. Divisional field gun. Vet 3T-34. Still can't penetrate the frontal armor of the Panzer IV. Oh, the Panther could take it out now. The Raketenwerfer, it's cloaked. T-34 reverses away, but the Raketenwerfer's got a very quick traverse time, and that is the death of that medium tank. Taken down. Panther was there just to finish the job, should he need it. Su-85 is having to be rebuilt. Panther, of course, using combat blitz to get the hell out of there. ML-20's back on headquarters duty. All that time, it could have been getting more infantry kills, it seems. And finally, by the way, PGA is putting them in that pocket that we spoke about earlier on, which is all good. Conscripts just setting up their position. The victory point situation is not becoming critical quite yet, but it's certainly getting something to be considered for Jove. It should be on his radar at the moment. 174. Got room to breathe. He's got room to try and get something else out in terms of tanks, but he's certainly cancelled his Su-85 for now. I wonder what he's thinking. I thought that would have been a good idea, quite frankly. He's got a sniper out in the late game. Interesting. Really interesting. That's going to further punish PGA and try and diminish his ability to cap victory points. So that's the build he's going for. Exciting stuff. Got the Raketenwerfer pushing in and close. Just look at the scouting it's doing. Sees the sniper. Knows that's there. Good target with the ISG, perhaps. She's completely uncloaked at the moment. Another Obersal Dalton squad has been built. MG34 in preparation. Sniper's going to get behind cover and get some long-range shots off. Nice and raging grenade, but nearly dies to the sniper fire there. He's sure it run beyond the veil of that range there. Here comes the Panzer IV. Traverses its turret. Big shot in on the T-34 freshly built, and the Raketenwerfer does likewise. Obersal Dalton is suffering thanks to the sniper. Doesn't open up with a shot on the Obers, what the hell? Here comes the P-Tab. Doesn't actually do that much. A large amount of munitions expended there, 180 in total. Well, that Panther putting down the hurt. Pintle mount. MG34 nearly takes out that penal. Very surprised by the sniper for not opening up and completely obliterating everything. ML-20. Those orangey bombs. Missing heavily. PGA is repositioning with aplomb. ISG could lose its veterancy here. The sniper continues to fire. Here comes the Panther though. Yeah, he loses the veterancy, but doesn't lose the sniper. Good play by Jove. Well, risky, but proficient. Maxim harmlessly plinking away at the Panther. That must feel weird to be inside a tank whilst a machine gun shoots you. Just like plink, 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 plink. But it's 1,000, you know, in this case about 500 RPM. 500 ricochets off something you're inside. It must be a very, very odd noise. Very ear-splitting, one would imagine. Panther in pursuit. Getting some excellent penetrations off. Obersal Dalton putting down the hurt. PTRS conscripts. Oh, obliterated there by a long-range shot from the Panzer IV. Meanwhile, Jove is capping this victory point. Well, it's not Jove. PanzerGrenadierAngreifen is capping this victory point, which has now pushed Jove below his count. And as soon as this triple cap is engaged, it may further do that. Jove has some serious questions to ask himself. The artillery cannon just hasn't done what he needed it to. And there we go. Panther 20 kills, ready to finish this game off. Amazing to me that the Foch Grenadiers didn't finish the job here. Snipers pushing in. Fortunately for her, that is not a German anti-tank mine. Give me the memory stick. Oh, snipers found out. Sturmgewehr's trying to get her at max range. This is going to be cheeky 180 time. Oh, that's so cheeky. Tell you what, the Foch Grenadiers have continued their pursuit, and now it's forced a hard retreat. Jove was trying to be cheeky. Obers, fresh-faced and ready for war. Got somebody around watching Game of Thrones on catch-up. Got to transfer a file over to a memory stick. Wells casting in front of thousands of people. Just how it goes sometimes. There we go. Let's delete that. Panther pushes in. This is a Game of Thrones no spoiler zone though, so don't worry. No need to vacate the premises. Panzer IV pushing over to the west side. Does not want Jove to get back into this game. And PanzerGrenadierAngreifen will be fearful of the Russian. He may not be like an omnipresent member of the community, but he is very knowledgeable of all of his famous enemies. Rakettenwerfer finds the penal battalions and forced away immediately. ML20 is now focusing on these support weapons, it seems. Already decrewed the ISG. Obersoldaten pushing in. Snipers up to 3 kills now. Which isn't that much, I know. I was expecting it to be more. That's why I started speaking out. I was like, 3? Is that all? She's got some work to do. Obers could get taken down here. Oh, they won't indeed. I'll tell you what, PanzerGrenadierAngreifen's looking a bit shaky now, it seems. Good tanks pushing in. Zisgun getting some shots off. PGA getting desperate. Got an Ura in just to cut them off, it seems. Nice incendiary grenade forces away the Zisgun. We do have both Sector Assault and PTAB ready to go at a moment's notice. Zisgun and Maxim pin the Vetracy 5 Foch Grenadier. Meanwhile, this Panzer IV's got 11 infantry kills, but the Zisgun's got his number. Don't want to repair too far. I think that doesn't even deny vision now. No, it is permeable. Right, last bit of multitasking here. Paste that over there. Right, good. Got the Game of Thrones episode transitioning to a pen drive. My stepdad. Might be a good episode, good name for the episode of this YouTube series. Rakettenwerfer forced away. Panzer IV. Fresh one on the battlefield, so a real cohort of vehicles now. Oh, obliterating the Vetracy 2 combat engineers. It's getting situation critical for both players. Oh, we've got the Panther, it's pushed in. We've had engine damage. Here's the grenade assault. Taking out the Panther, perhaps. The Panzer IV's come to save the day. Got Sector Assault also coming down from the skies above. Big moment here. T-34 going to bite the dust. Yes, it does indeed. Before the Panther's gun becomes impotent as the PTRS cause heavy damage before the Panzer IVs turn their turrets and take out the squad. Big moment now as the the Maxim's destroyed also. Sniper watches on in horror through a scoped Mosin Nagant. PTAB rains down and takes out the Panther. Finishes the job on it, but these Panzer IVs are ready to go in for the kill. Su-85 in the build. The snipers having to reposition. Zisgun's in excellent position to protect the Vetracy 3 ML20. This game's still anybody's. 2 big losses there. The T-34s go down. The Panther goes down. This game boiled over in a crazy moment. Penal battalions on the flank. Forced away, could be punished on retreat. Too much damage done. SU-85 is on the battlefield.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our
Just have a
territory.
decent amount of anti-tank once more. All 20s on. Again, the base exit. Not even close to taking out any trucks. They've all been repaired. I mean, I know it's been good for anti-inf, but that's all it's been good for. Panzer IVs has certainly been good at destroying the lives of many Russian soldiers. Nice shot there. SU-85 in peril. Are you eating cold soup? The hell?
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Sniper doesn't want to capture a victory point. It's 3 victory points. Both players are sub 100 now. Big penetration from afar from the Raketenwerfer hitting Veteran C2. Obersoldaten force their way into battle, but Rock 9th flamethrowers are ready to vanquish them. The transfer is 17% complete to the pen drive. It's slow, it's Blu-ray quality.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Obersoldaten forcing their way in. Penal battalions. Watch on. Tell you what, both players have really scant forces at the moment. I mean, I know Jove's got his 3 penal battalions, but he's lost his machine gun. And I know PanzerGrenadierAngreifen has the Obersoldaten, but they're not exactly that good at capping, because as soon as they lose soldiers, you're just worried about your investments. They're great at killing, but capping, possibly not. Fortunately, that for them, very recently, the sniper was taken out. Missed on camera by glorious me. Apparently the cold soup was nice. This gun field barrage just warding units away, it seems. Raketenwerfer's capping, penal battalion comes to mitigate, as do the conscripts. And the Raketenwerfer does a rather comical 180 there. That 3 penals could be dying. MG34s. Oh, what a brutal assassination from behind. Again! Could they take them out? Such a possibly lucky escape there. Brutal stuff. And we have had, I believe it is, a very anticlimactic loss there for Jove. He really feels like PanzerGrenadierAngreifen just had his had him there, and yeah, well, it was a good game. It wasn't a great game. I'm not going to say it was, but it was certainly good. So if you enjoyed that, you're a masochist. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.